Hello, you guys. How you guys doing? What are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna try to keep it low. My windows are open and it's a little late. So I don't want to create any disturbances. And so either way, you guys, so I'm coming through right now because y'all listen, I've been busy, 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 busy. How you doing? When I tell y'all that, baby, we're coming into the summer, we're switching seasons, we're welcoming new energy. So of course, I've been doing things and y'all listen. I'm just like, ooh, girl, not pooped, but I'm like, yeah, I need to like call it a night. But before I do that, y'all, I want to come on. I want to talk about some things because, of course, I like to call out the bullshit. I will say this. I do know that I owe you guys a midnight metanoia. I do know there's a lot of stuff I'm supposed to be putting out here. But of course, you guys, when life calls and, people need ya, you have to put your stuff on hold. And of course, shout out to those of you who still reach out to me for readings, casework, those who contribute to the vision, what I call the sermon. Come on in here. The House of Light, Madam Merkaba. I love y'all so much, and I'm so grateful for you guys. So the support is still there. Of course, like I say, me not Metanoia, Beyond Livegate. These are little exciting things I wanted to do to kind of, come out and engage with you all. But of course, like I said, when life calls and people need you, you show up and you show out, okay? And so that's what we're doing. And so we will be getting back into groove things for sure as we approach June. So bear with me, y'all. And then, of course, maybe I'll surprise you guys this upcoming week because the dust is kind of settling and put out 2 Midnight Metanoia that I owe y'all. And then, of course, like I told y'all, we're going to be changing the name of Midnight Metanoia. So this will be kind of like the last 2 episodes, I guess, of Midnight Metanoia. So y'all listen, a lot of things that we talk while we on that. A lot of things that we talked about when Midnight Metanoia, y'all, have been coming to the light. The Delphi murders, y'all, I was trying to go back because I guess they have new discoveries on the case. Recently, as recent as 2 or 3 months ago. Don't quote me on this, but they found out it's connected to the occult and also the good stuff, y'all. Which I really, honestly, truly need to find the reading that I did on it to touch in on it and kind of recap that. So I do want to do that with you guys very, very soon. Of course, going into the Brandon situation, the guy that just kind of disappeared. Y'all know the situation, and then there's another that we're going to be going into because I feel like that case is also coming to the light. And then, of course, the Asha, right? The 9-year-old girl that went missing back in the day, I guess, she was a basketball player, not I guess, but everybody was in the bed. Her brother, remembered that, she was asleep. And then all of a sudden, he realized she's not there, et cetera, et cetera. So that also has come to the light too in the past year. So y'all, we just been touching on things that have been coming forward and, tapping in and allowing spirit to direct us on certain, topics, right? And so either way, what I want to come to you guys and talk about tonight, 2 things that I'm going to touch very lightly on one of the things because I do feel like it's a hot commodity. Can we talk about it? Now, I do want to say this as a disclaimer. Y'all, there's a lot that's going on. Let's just fuck that. There's a lot of things that have going on that will continue to go on in the world of the celebrities, in that whole realm. Girl, these people are a hot ass mess. Unfortunately, when it comes to being famous and rich, your energy will always be multiplied. So a lot of these people are batshit ass crazy, perverted, predatorial, and the money and the fame just kind of amplified that, right? And even going into get into that, y'all, you go through a lot of motherfucking shit. We talk about my motherfucking past with dealing with the celebrity people, being in pilots of shows and shit, girl. I was just like, girl, this is not for me. And kudos to those of you who do manage to be in the entertainment industry and maintain your mental, sanity. But it's a lot with a lot lot with a lot. And so I don't touch on celebrity stuff genuinely because I feel like a lot of it is made up hocus pocus type bullshit. I feel like a lot of this shit is movies. I feel like there's always some type of secret agenda. They already have the shit planned out, but they'll play games with us and be like, oh my God, I didn't know this was going to happen. Going into the, and this is something that just sticks out for me. The OJ Simpson case, y'all. This is like a very mysterious case in the 90s. And I feel like this is like a cross of supernatural things and also tampering from the physical perspective. Like I tell y'all, I see someone committing this crime that is a lookalike. And of course, it has been discussed in Hollywood for many, many years that a lot of these people do have lookalikes. Of course, for protection and all this other good stuff, which like that won't go into that. But it's just a lot. With this Diddy thing, it's the same thing, girl. I mean, we know that, as you get older, you get gray and shit, girl. Just sit. I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot going on. I don't think this shit is real. I'm out of my motherfucking business. Like, I don't hear me out here talking about shit, posting shit. But what I will say, as we segue over into this, y'all know I've been kind of having my eyes on. That's how I came across this other spiritualist. Which, by the way, y'all, I say hi and bye to the spiritual people, but girl, we don't talk like that privately and personally like that, girl. Okay, like I said, a lot of people be fucked up. A lot of people having spiritual attachments on them, and girl, I can't deal with that on a day-to-day basis. No shade. And so, either way, y'all, I've been watching, from the shadows, what they say from the bushes, and I really had this idea years ago that I'm really thinking about. I'm going to be implementing, but I've noticed that one of these so-called psychics. Like, let's just say this. I would say like 97% of the African American people who are alleged readers, psychics, tarot readers, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. I really feel like these people are giftless. I don't think they have the gift to read people. I think they have a gift. They have a trickster spirit with them. I do feel like they have a scamming spirit with them. But I don't feel like people can really tap in and see things because, of course, going into the idea of we come from a community that has been damaged, that's been weighed down, that's been spellbound. From the beginning, we've been spellbound. We've been switched out. They put it in the movies Get Out. They put it in the movies Skeleton Key. They're basically telling out what it is, but motherfuckers don't want to pay attention. And it's still this motherfucker spell shit, but they want to talk about something. I'm a witch. I know magic. I do this. I do that. And it's like, girl, you a motherfucker fool. You a motherfucker lie. And bitch, if the Holy Spirit came in, I used to say if the devil came in. Well, the Holy Spirit came in and touched you, bitch, you wouldn't know what the fuck to do. So, bitch, let's keep it real and let's keep it all the way real. So I'm already convinced that 97% of these folks are liars and scammers. Because, girl, I'm just like, how do these people be having, like, tumultuous lives? Like, girl, we all have a story to tell, but these people will be like, girl, it'll be like some traumatic ass shit. Like, anyway, I won't get into it. But I'm just like, so the spirit wasn't there when you were going through that shit. But miraculously, mysteriously, because it said the Lord works in mysterious ways, when you decided to make money, because all other things were failing, mysteriously the spirit came to you and said, let's talk. And now all of a sudden you got gifts. You got gifts all of a sudden. Bitch, my gifts has been with me since I was a kid. We call mama, auntie, uncle, sister, brother. We call people knew me my whole life to verify this. Bitch, if you claim to be a reader, you claim to be tapped in, girl, consult with the ancestors. One of the girls said she read one of my dead cousins. Consult with him and see, am I a gifted bitch? I've always been that girl. So, baby, I didn't have to have a traumatic experience. I didn't have to get my ass, which I did by my ex. We not get into that. I didn't have to go to prison to have a gift come to me. It's always been there. And this is also going to segue into another conversation. But either way, I'm sitting here watching this scamming ass bitch. Excuse me. This scamming ass interview. I'm trying to work on my language a little bit on YouTube. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm trying to be a little clean, a little prim and proper for the, I don't want to start. Anyway, let me watch myself. So I literally been watching this scamming ass bitch where, she was getting possessed by spirits. She started making up spirits. She started saying these spirits came to her. Girl, just somehow, some way this person has been able to supersede all spiritual paths, spiritual realities, to where she said herself that she's the mother god reincarnated, just all this other fuckery shit, y'all, by the way. And I'm just like, that is such amazing. That is such an amazing thing for you to reincarnate mother goddess into this realm as a black woman, which is considered one of the most oppressed individuals on this planet right now, to then be able to get a word, to get advice, to get a spirit speaking to you, but yet you're still not helping your people. I mean, that has to be a traumatizing experience for itself, for you to have the reincarnation, or you to be reincarnated into this realm to so-called help your people level up, but yet you're dealing with the same shit these people deal with, even when you have realized you've had a great awakening that you are the mother goddess reincarnated. You are Mother Fatima reincarnated. You are Mother Mary reincarnated. You bitch, no, fuck that. She said she's above all that. She said she's the everything. She's the matrix herself, girl. Reincarnated, but the bitch is a Percocet addict. The bitch, girl, she was homeless for a couple of years. Like I said, that's not my business. But girl, I'm just like, okay. So y'all, on today's episode, I'm sitting here watching, and it's like validated, right? And I'm like, well, let's see what got validated, because I'm curious to know. So I go ahead and I click on my, TV while I'm cleaning up and shit, looking at it on my TV. And I guess they do a video on somebody being pardoned, right? They've been pardoned, or they may get pardoned. And, I don't know why pardon keeps speaking to me. That's what they're saying, right? And so y'all, I'm not looking into this shit because, girl, it's just a fool to me. All these people knew that P. Diddy did all the shit he been doing for all these years, girl, at least since the mid motherfucking 90s. And all of a sudden in 2025, people act like they give a fuck because money is tight, shit is drying up. People they ain't support like they used to support. So, girl, all of a sudden, girl, they want to put this motherfucker behind bars. Girl, I'm just like, girl, listen, that's not my business. Girl, they all should be charged. Every single last one of them. All the VP, all the executives, everything, they all need to go. The assistants, the makeup artists, the bodyguards, lock them all up. The co-stars, the collaborations, the guest stars, all of them need to go. They need to all be locked up, sis. So at this point, girl, I'm not about to be pulling in and tapping in to all this energy, girl, just for the sake of a view over a clip. So either way, y'all, this individual was like, the spirits that keep telling me there's a pardon. Now, mind y'all, this reading took place a day ago. It's about to be 2 days now. So I'm sitting here like, damn, okay, maybe they got something right. Because there's two things that we're going to go about here, y'all. Two things right here. Because, bitch, this is what we're going to go into what we're going to start doing. This is what we get into what we're going to start doing. Two-spirited, mystic, ancient Egyptian magic. This is what we're going to start getting into. So I am watching, I'm like, well, maybe, she's tapping in really for real now. Whoa, okay, what's going on? There's some downloads going on. And Google popped up. And I said, wait a minute. Let me Google, and when I get into the answers saying that spirit told me to Google, but Google popped up in my head like Google. So I'm Googling as they're showing this validation, this receipt for their reading. And I guess another YouTuber is talking about how P. Diddy may get pardoned. He may pull the presidential pardon because he's friends with Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. And girl, they all friends. Bitch, don't get fooled by it. They're all friends. Kamala Harris is friends with Donald Trump as well. Kamala's husband is friends with Donald Trump. Girl, don't get fooled by the bullshit, girl. They all are motherfucking friends. It takes a group of elites to be around other motherfucking elites, girl. Don't get played, y'all. Y'all been getting played for all these years ago. That shit be pissing me the fuck off. Y'all been getting played for 500 fucking years, and they still playing y'all motherfucking face, and y'all want to fight each other about, well, I like Kamala over Donald Trump. They're all fucking the same ass, whacked out, motherfucking losing ass, conniving ass, evil ass people. Mama just probably would have been pretty with her evilness, but they're all fucking evil, girl, and they all gotta go. And they're all gonna go. Mark my word. Anyway, so girl, and we're not talking about, anything outside of girl, the spirit of coming on down here and do what they got to do. Come on in here, spirit. So either way, y'all, I'm sitting here like, let me Google the pardon tea. And it said 2 days ago, girl, that means a day before her reading, that it was alleged that P. Diddy may get pardoned because he humped one of the Kardashians at a Met Gala. He dry humped. Or one of the Kardashians dry humped him. Girl, I didn't research it enough to get into that, but I was like, how ironic is that 2 days before, because a lot of people like to get through spirit is saying pardon. And just so happened a day before you actually say pardon, it already says that P. Diddy may get pardoned because he's friends with the president. I was like, girl, these people are getting scammed by this bitch. And of course, it's not just this person. It's a lot of people that be scamming these people. Like, it was even getting in my mind as I was sitting here thinking about it, because I was telling you guys that if I ever do an in-person meet, like, I want to have everybody verified. But now it's going to be a whole nother way. You're not going to get verified that way, bitch. You show the fuck up, you're getting scanned. You're getting a metal detector. That's what you're getting, girl. We got motherfucking security. That's how that goes. Baby, no tea, no shade. That's how that goes, girl. Security is always on watch. And bitch, do some type of building or stuff, bitch, you're getting scanned. All your items are getting taken out your pocket, out your wallet. It's going to be kept in a certain compartment until we're done. And that's how that's going to go. And so either way, this person asked for their IDs to basically verify your identity. But then it dawned on me, like, no, baby. With those IDs, they can do a background check. That's how I told y'all we're even moving into the energy of when we do readings, you don't have to give me your full name and a birthday. You give me your initials and a birthday. You can give me a favorite color of yours and a birthday. Baby, fuck that. You don't even got to give me a birthday. You give me your favorite color, girl. We tap into that. You give me one of the things that what was the most recent meal that you had, and we're going to be able to tap into motherfucking energy, bitch. We're not indirect with our energy. We're very direct. And so I'm like, this is how these people are doing it. They do background checks. They have Facebook accounts for y'all, and not just this person, but a lot of people. They have Facebook book pages for y'all. They know that you guys are going to join this Facebook group or these pages from your personal page, and then they start clicking through your friends just to see who your mama, your daddy, auntie, your uncle, and then mysteriously they found out that your grandpa died. And then, girl, when you book a reading, because eventually you are going to book a reading, especially if you're going to one of their seminars, okay, where you're going to one of their live sessions, they're going to give you a reading. They're going to say, Papa Joe is coming through. Do you know a man by the name of Joe, Jane, Joan, Junkie, Chicky, Chichi? And just so happened it's your Papa Joe. And then how they know it's your Papa Joe? Because they were on your fucking Facebook looking through names, and they found out that your Papa Joe was deceased. Because they're going to go for two things: how old you are. They're going to look up who your mama, your daddy, your auntie, or what their age is, and they're going to try to put two and two together. And so, girl, this was all coming to me as I'm sitting there saying, this is why the bitch want to verify your identity before you motherfuckers show up to motherfucking event. This is why the bitch needs to have, because she needs to prep herself for this reading. Nothing is a cold reading. Nothing is not cold, but a raw reading. Like, I'm going to sit down with you, whatever comes, we tap on. Everything is a predetermined situation. And I'm just like, girl, why do my black people, why do they have to be such a scamming ass group of people? Why can't my black people just really tap into their gifts and come out and say the Spirit of God is talking to me and I'm talking to your ancestors right now? Like, why they all gotta be gimmicky and shit, girl? Why they gotta be sick, overweight, trying to act like they got a cure for you? Why they gotta be dumb, blind, and spiritually deaf, but act like the spirit is talking to them, and the spirit told me that you need to watch what you eat because there's something going on with your stomach? Why do they all say that? Why do they all say that? Anybody that's ever got a reading done with me, like I said, we're gonna get into Feedback Tuesdays. I want you to come up and I want you to give your testimony. I'm going to start doing raffles too for situations as well for this. I want you to come up. I want you to give your testimony. I want you to touch in on when I knew that you had something wrong with your blood. Bitch, there was no discussion about your health. I didn't say the spirit said you need to drink more water. The spirit said, bitch, I immediately went in and said, baby, I'm seeing something with your blood. There's something going on with your blood, and it's something that you're overlooking. And just so happened, they're like, this is what it is. And we're talking about a recent situation as well, y'all, within the past 2 months. So I'm just saying, like, girl, that whole spirit is saying it's something with your stomach. Girl, we know that people have indigestive issues. Indigestion, that's a very popular ailment. Girl, we know that. Pepto-Bismol, girl, people are on ginger supplements, shit, like, girl, Pepsid and shit. Like, indigestion, heartburn, IBS, these are common things due to our diet. And we know this, right? And I think I'm getting a little outside. I got to lower myself. People are getting a little nosy shit, girl. They, I'm hearing shit. But anyway, there's shit going on outside. They being a little nosy right now. So anyway, y'all. So like I said, so we know what the shit is. We know what it's given, y'all. So you don't have to tell me the spirit said I need to drink more water. We know a lot of people are dehydrated. That's the common thing as well. That's not spirit talking to you. That's common sense. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to tap in and tell me how many kids I had. And between these children I've had, how is my uterus doing? Is it recovered? I want you to go over my breast health. I want you to go into my throat health. I want you to go into this. Like, this is what spirit is telling me, like, baby, fuck all that. You need more water. You need to eat right. That's the common American diet. We have a fuck the best diet. That's not spirit talking, girl. That's common sense. I need you to speak to me as if you're speaking to me, and the spirits are not telling you anything broad. And that's how I know that you're tapping into spirit. That's how I know that you're really engaging in something higher than you and me both. Can we talk about it? And so, girl, with that being said, y'all, I just said to myself, like, it is just so sad that these people just be scamming, lying, cheating, and stealing. It is so unfortunate that a lot of our people who are spiritual advisors and sorcerers, they have some type of criminal record, some type of panhandling, scamming ass, scheming ass, pyramid scheme ass background. It's unfortunate, okay, except for let's talk about it. There may be a few other people out there, but I'm talking about the ones who we know of. Okay, it's just unfortunate, and they're not really here to help the people. It's more of a profitable thing, just like the Black church. They're not here to help people and allow the Black folks to make it to heaven. They're here to make money off your ass. Because, baby, they got it down to a T, girl. They know how much money you make a year. If you don't donate a certain percent of your income, girl, you get humiliated in these ceremonies, aka sermons, and they will kick you off the church. And when they kick out your church, girl, now you're being gang stalked. Now you're being harassed. Now you're being manipulated into getting back into the church. Can we talk about it? And they don't give a fuck about you being evicted or you being hungry. And so, y'all, it's some very deep shit going on. And at this point, girl, I'm fed up. I'm sick and tired of being motherfucking sick and tired. I'm fed up of being fed up. I'm tired of seeing people being subscribed to these type of people and think that's how we all get down. So I have to read a bit or read a person because they coming at me like I'm this fucking crackerjack, instant, made up ass. I'm in it for the money type of spiritualist. And I'm sick of it. And so I'm like, you know what we're going to start doing? We're going to focus on interjecting. We're going to focus on interim. We're going to focus on intercessions. We're going to focus on downloading spiritual downloads. We're going to focus on channeling energy and directing it where it needs to go. We're going to focus on allowing people to elevate and to wake up. And after these sessions, y'all, after these 6 months, baby, I'm going to be committed to this for 6 months. And baby, like I said, baby, it's going to be right here on the channel for free. Okay, now if you want a private session, that's where we get into charging. Okay, but right here on the channel, we're going to be getting into free sessions of tapping into your energy, tapping into your light source, if you are that one, because y'all, we're getting into another little situation that we talked about the other day. And Spirit's like, I need to touch on it. You know, we talked about everyone on this planet is not so they don't have souls, right? We said this. We have people who are soulless, and they may even act like us, talk like us, and walk like us, but they are soulless. And y'all, you know, people thought I was being, crazy. They were like, this is crazy, but how would I know? Because even, one of my sisters said, well, how would I know? Because if I'm trained to think like a human, if I'm trained to act like a human, I don't know anything else, right? And of course, if it's a spiritual, because the term cyborg is not just a human being, part robot, part human. Going even into the spiritual aspect, we're all cyborgs in that sense because we get upgrades all the time. We get downloads to be upgraded, just like computers and stuff. They said our brain is a computer. So computers have to have downtime, and they also have to have an upgrade of their firmware and motherfucking hardware. Can we talk about it for a minute? And so you have to also have that. But when it comes into those who are soulless, their programming is a little more harsh. It's a little deeper. They have no sense of self. They have no sense of direction. They don't know which way to go. There's no inner voice there, y'all. And that's what we talked about. And I said that you could be programmed into thinking that you are soulful or that you have a soul, and you're not, and you don't have it. Okay. And even going into the Bible, it talks about the 144K. It could be a little more than that, but I believe that it's accurate, y'all. And so, of course, I was, talking with someone earlier, and they were like, they were saying that only 30% of people have an inner voice. The other, and it's a 30 to 50%, but we're going to go with 30 because they're saying the other 20% is a guesstimation because they haven't interviewed everybody. But they're saying that 30% of the people have the inner voice. Now, y'all, let me tell you this right now. You may think that's not a problem. You may think that's not an issue. The inner voice is your conscious. The inner voice is your spirit. The inner voice is your internal hardware that came with you through the eons. The inner voice is the energy that's been here before your conscious has been here. Your inner voice is the energy that's equal to Oshun, Obatala, Yemaya, Jesus Christ. You want to get into all these Hermes, Aphrodite. That is your inner voice. That spirit is equal or greater than those motherfucking entities. So if you do not have that inner voice, more than likely you are not, first of all, you don't have a soul. Second of all, bitch, there's some teas going on. Anyway, like I said, we won't get too deep into that. But that inner voice, lacking that inner voice, deals with the voice of reason. Girl, if you're doing something fucked up, that voice is telling you you're doing something fucked up. That's also known as your conscious. Your conscious is talking. And so at the end of the day, 30% of people don't have that, y'all. 30% of us do have that. That's a little disturbing. That's a little disturbing. Y'all can type that in on and see for yourself. 30 to 50% does have an inner voice. That means the other 50 to 70% does not. That means 1 in 10 people, okay, actually have a inner voice and the other ones don't. Y'all, that's quite traumatizing. That's quite scary. And even going into inner dialogue, like talking to yourself. No, you don't answer yourself, y'all. But even like there's been moments that I'm in a room full of silence or silent people, like I don't hear anything going on, and I can hear a song playing. And I'll start like humming the words or singing the words. And bitch, I used to be like, am I losing my mind? Like, bitch, because I'm hearing this bitch as if it's really in my ear. But y'all, we know with my therapist, psychiatrist, baby, I'm definitely a normal bitch. I'm definitely a bitch with past trauma, but it's definitely sane. But I'm just like, girl, I cannot imagine people not having that inner voice. How do you not hear that? And maybe that's why we have people that like abuse their own children. Like we're talking about even one of these people out here that was trying to talk about and, project onto me about whatever they were projecting on. Y'all, that's why a lot of people committed crimes and allowed their parents to take care of their kids. A lot of people, and that's the big problem right there, y'all. If you're a single person, if you're a single man or woman and you committed a crime, the only one you really hurting is yourself. You're not hurting your mama, you're not hurting your daddy, you're not hurting nobody else. When you start having kids and you are still making fucked up ass decisions that's getting you to be away from your children, that's where the problem comes in at, because these children did not ask to be here, and you're saying fuck the kids. You're really saying fuck the children. And then when somebody like me say fuck your kids, now you want to fight. And it's like, but you said the same thing, girl. That's why your mom and your daddy took care of them. And of course, some of these people have successful children now that are in college, that are psychologists, that are teachers, that are professors, doctors, and lawyers. But your mama and your auntie raised them. You didn't. So this is not your hard work going into play. This is your parents going into hard work to play. And that also goes into say, maybe it wasn't your parents that fucked up. Maybe it was you that was fucked up all along. Maybe it was you was just the fucked up ass person, because if your kids was raised by the same people you're raised by and they end up being better than you, that means, baby, it might just be you. It just means that you don't have a spirit. You don't have a soul. And that's okay. Baby, you are not of the Most High. You are not one of God's armies, soldiers. And that's okay, baby. That's okay, baby. A lot of us, we just flow. We go with the flow. We do life. We let people project things on us. If people tell us that we're blue, we're going to say we're blue. If people say that you're orange, you're going to say you're orange. Girl, you're going to take on the dialogue of the people. Y'all, let me tell you this as a side note, too. What made me start to understand, and this is a very serious, all this that I'm saying is serious, but this is a very serious statement I'm about to make right now. What made me realize that my ethnic cocoa, deep olive, copper toned chocolate, milk chocolate, almond roca, Depends on what type of tea you have. Amaroka, allegedly. Anyway, I won't get into that. But, sable, honey, beautiful skin, beautiful girl. Our skins have stories. Our skin have story. But what made me understand that these people was under a spellbound is, and I'm just going to point out three things here, or maybe two, is when they said that when the masters had, the ancestors locked down on a plantation. But by the way, it's a French architecture building. I'm trying to figure out who built the damn, if the slave masters, who built the plantations. Can somebody let me know who built the plantations? That's something I really want. I never even, dug into that like that. But what had me, I was like, these people are definitely under, my people are definitely under, my skin folk are definitely under a spell, is when they had y'all thinking that the ancestors allowed these white folks to beat them and call them out their names and did things in front of them that was very traumatizing. Even us hearing the stories, y'all. I hate hearing about stories about what the slaves had to deal with, because, baby, that's traumatizing even hearing it. So it's like, could you imagine these strong warriors, these strong descendants of kings and queens being thrown down to their motherfucking knees, being disrespected, spat on, and they didn't do a fuck ass thing? Bitch, that's when I said they have these people on the motherfucking spell. Two, they have to keep telling the same story over and over and over and over again. I'm like, ma'am, we got the fucking story. We got that y'all didn't like us. We got that y'all fucked us up. We got y'all to give a fuck about us. We got that you consider us like, girl, why y'all keep reiterating it, girl, 350 years of the same fucking story. It was just like, girl. And then go deeper than that, the third thing that put the icing on the cake for me, where I had to go in to do my ancestor work, y'all, is this how I got into doing ancestor work, if you really want to be honest. I said, I want to know what the disconnect is. I want to know what the information that's not being told of the history of this land that I'm on. This island, Turtle Island, aka America. What is the history of this place, right? And that's when it started start being made real to me. I start seeing things for what it was. But when they start switching up the words, y'all, Negro, colored, Afro-American, African-American. I mean, girl, it's like, girl, if they're really Negro, whatever, they're really who they are, why can't you keep that name? Why? What's going on? And then when I started doing my digging and I found there was legal cases of some people who sold out. They were, I'm going to get a check for you to call me colored folk. I'm going to get a check from you if you can call me African American, right? And then some people did not sell out. Some people were like, no, fuck that, bitch. You could just keep taking me to court. I'm never going to take on that title. I'm never going to take on that name. I'm okay being called Black, but I'm not going to be called African American. And y'all, this is in history. This is actually not set in stone, but you can research this shit. So it's like, honey, that's when I was like, they have these people under a spell. These people don't even understand how deep it goes. You have the people talk about they're dealing with the ancestors, and the people they're tapping in, and then they go into the store, they're buying Jane Emperor money and shit. They're doing the Taoist ancestor worship. I'm just like, something right here. And the first they go into, I start burning ancestor money, and immediately I started getting money. And I'm like, well, me being a spiritual advisor, me being somebody who's trained in energy, certified in many areas of energy work, by the way, and I've been taught by the best of the best, by the way. That's how that works. You don't burn ancestor money and all of a sudden you're going to wake up and there's money in the bank and, oh my God, thank you, ancestors. You opened up a new job and opportunity for me. You have to work on yourself. You have to heal certain things that are blocking you. Your past is blocking your future. Can we talk about it? Your past is either a gate for you to go through to elevate for your future, or it is a obstacle. It is a stepping stone or obstacle. So, girl, that whole deal about you having money issues, you burnt ancestor money, your ancestors made away and money came, bitch, you a lie. Bitch, you a motherfucking lie. Because, baby, if you woke up to money like that, then you also woke up with clarity about what it is that's stopping and blocking you. And this is my thing, too. If that really happened, then what are the stories about how you elevated? What's the stories about how you choose your man differently? What's the stories about you speaking differently, you walking differently, you hang around with different people? Can we talk about it? Or is that a little too deep for y'all? Because see, bitch, I hate people playing in my motherfucking face. I hate when people play in my face about spirit. I hate people playing in my face about workings. I hate people playing myself about the words, the terminology, AM, DRP, all of that. Like, girl, I haven't let somebody have it, and it fucked up a client. But I'm like, girl, listen. I'm not here for the money. Can we talk about it, girl? Hello, let them tell a girl I was a whore. I could prostitute for money, girl. That's the oldest profession, girl. This always gonna be here, girl. I go hoe for some money, honey. We're not here for the money, honey. Just so happen the money is motherfucking additive to the energy that's put into it, and it's the exchange of energy. But girl, we're not here to sell out or to change it up because we need a motherfucking check. There's never been the tea here. Can we talk about it? That's why I have not been to jail for writing bad checks or committed any type of motherfucking scam. But baby, we're not in it for the check. We're not in it for any of that, girl. We used our brains to get what we need to get to. Can we talk about, and the brains deals with the intelligence. Can we talk about if I'm spiritually tapped in, my intelligence deals with spirituality, and that's how we're gonna get our money. And so we're going to evaluate the people around us to think we're doing the way that we're doing things to see if that's what's blocking. And that's what we're going to go to first. We're not going to look for a quick way to get anything because shortcuts do nothing but cut you short. And so that's why a lot of people are now looking back at their life 50 and 60 and 70. And they're like, fuck, I fucked up. Yeah, bitch, you should be set up, honey, at that age. 50, 60, 70, you should be set up, baby. You're not set up, bitch, because you were doing some fucked up ass shit and you weren't paying attention. You were trying to cut yourself short, and now you're reaping those benefits, right, of you doing that. And that's no shade, girl. That's just what it is. Okay? What to say, all tea, no shade? And so, girl, you're going to sit here, you're going to talk about spirituality and spiritual download and how spirit is talking to you. I want to hear it. I want to hear it right. Spirit came into my life and spirit showed me the right way, and I elevated and I cleaned up my credit. I cleaned up the way I was thinking, my old habits. I changed my diet. I changed this. I changed that. That's what it comes down to when you're spiritually in tune. The whole thing about you got a spiritual awakening, but you're still fucking with bummy ass people. You're befriending bummy ass people. You're dating bummy ass people. You're not doing anything for yourself, girl. You've been doing the same thing for the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Girl, is that a spiritual awakening or is that some type of spiritual psychosis? Can we talk about it? And so either way, y'all, that's what we're going to be doing. There's so many charlatans out there, so many scams out there, so many fake ass people out there, girl. People that's, oh my God, I'm so tuned in, I'm so this, I'm so that. And it's just like, girl, even one of the people was even talking about how they know that they came from a lineage of pedophiles. Woo! They were talking about how they knew their mama wasn't shit. And I'm just like, girl, I'm waiting for this person to say I went to therapy, though. I worked through my trauma. I'm still in a therapy session. They don't talk about that at all. They talk about the spirit. The spirit is talking to them. And I'm like, baby, is this real? Is this real? Because even going into y'all as a little side, on one of these other spiritualists that claim to be a spiritual celebrity reader, by the way. And I would say, if you want to know if you want to know if I can tap into your energy or not, baby, we always do $15, $20 readings, $30 2-question reads, girl. Go ahead and send over that donation, girl, and get a question answered. You don't have to do an in-depth reading, girl, for $300 and stuff, girl. Do a cute little donation. Say, hey, $50. I have one question. Let's see if you can tap in. This is what you gotta do. But this individual was celebrity psychic, by the way. And I just feel like celebrities are so easy to read because you can easily just look them up and their life stories out there. That's nothing, girl. Like my flex is, I have clients who are very private people who don't let the public see them. Their stuff is not public information. Like that's my flex when I say I read people. Celebrities are like, that's not really a flex, girl. But anyway, so they were talking about them being a celebrity reader, and then they got onto somebody's podcast or whatever, and they're like, I want to give you a reading. And they were like, hey, I want to know. Spirit keeps telling me that there's something that you're regretting, which of course is a lot of people. And they're like, well, I mean, can you elaborate on that, please? And they were like, I just keep saying like someone died or something. Someone died of some type of illness or something that you know. And of course, just happened. This is a gay man that they're talking to. And I'm like, well, we know that the AIDS, situation, HIV situation, it runs rapid in the LGBT community. So I'm like, that's really nothing, girl. I think we all have known someone who got the virus and or who has passed away from the virus. Like, I think we all know that. But then they're like, well, can you elaborate? Because they're like, the only thing that's really sticking on me is that blah, blah, blah. And then they're going into and they're dropping cues of what Spirit is telling y'all. But just so happen, oh, come on in here, Spirit, because Spirit always show up and show out. Just so happened when the person was giving his reading to this individual, the person was cutting off the reader and said, but I posted that on my social media. The weirdest thing about it is I posted that on my social media a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just like, girl, this is why, girl, you got to do cold readings on people. This is why you got to do, girl, you can't come into readings, like I said, going into the Tyler Henry guy or Henry Tyler. I don't even know, girl. I got over that, man. The Macaulay Culkin looking motherfucker that be reading people talk about he didn't know Bobby, he didn't know who spoke Whitney Houston was and shit. Talk about, I don't know who you are. Talk about Little Kim. Girl, didn't know who the fuck Little Kim was. I'm just like, girl, missed it with the bullshit, girl. Missed it with the bullshit, Miss Thing. Girl, you want a Hollywood Fruities, girl. Missed that bullshit. Talk about you didn't know these people. Girl, you knew these fucking people. Girl, talk about he tapping in. Well, this was very well before my era. Boy George and shit. Girl, like, girl, messing with that girl. Read somebody who you can't Google shit on. Girl, let somebody ask you what their darkest secret is, and you come out and you tell them their darkest secret, and then I believe that you fucking tapped in. Like I said, I'm always open, y'all. To spiritmystic.blogspot.com, 28spirit8mystic8 at gmail.com. I'm always open to give skeptical people a reading. I'm always open to tap in and to tell you what I'm seeing. We don't do background checks up here, girl. We don't research who you are. I don't even want you telling me stories, girl. That's how I read people I know, girl. If you tell me stories about Tom, Dick, or Harry, I'm not giving you a reading. Family and friends be like, can you give a reading? It depends on what it's about. Well, I was going to ask you, no, baby, we can't do that. Sorry, babe. There was a girl that I knew on Facebook for like 10 years, since 2012. And she was like, I want you to do a reading on my ex-relationship. And I'm like, no. And she's like, but I thought you, and I was like, yeah. But I feel like because I know your history, I don't want to, get into that. And then of course she's like, well, I already sent the money. Bitch, you should have sent the money because baby, I told you, girl. So she sent the money. So I said, well, I'll give you a reading on your current relationship because I don't know anything about your current relationship. And then of course I described it and then, I'm tapping in and she's like, oh God, yeah, okay, bam. Because I thought it was the brother, I won't put her business out there, but girl, she thought she was pregnant by him or the brother because she had them both. And I'm like, no, baby, it's this one. And of course, I don't know what these people look like with my physical eye, y'all, but I described him. Like I said, I could always say that too on my Facebook, girl. I did this reading in 2017, I believe. And mama is confirming everything I said. And I'm like, baby, I like your readings like that. I don't want to know anything about your past and you got to break down what your mom and daddy got going on. No, baby, we're not doing that. Honey, let's tap in. Let's do, we're, organically, let's see if we can pull up. And so anyway, y'all, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be eaching one, teaching one, reaching one, and of course you use your own. We're gonna do a small little mini. We're gonna do a 6-month tea. Let's do it. We could do 6 weeks. We could do a 6-week tea, y'all, where it's gonna be once a week. We're gonna give you little lessons to awaken your inner gift. So you can tap in and know when somebody motherfucking lying to you. Then that's why I tell people the easiest way for you to tap in is close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, listen to what the person is saying when they're talking. What energies are you feeling? And of course, if you're that gifted, you're that talented, write on a piece of paper while your eyes are closed and you're focusing on what they're talking about, what you're feeling with this person, and then go back and you read over your notes, and that's how you know what this energy is, because baby, the inner eyes don't lie. The inner voice and the inner eyes don't lie, because this is the voice that nobody else can hear, and this is the eyes that has not been tampered with. Can we talk about it? That is one eye, the inner eye, the third eye, that has not been tampered with, and it cannot be tampered with. They'll say that they can cloud it up, they can what's it said, calcify, baby. You are the one, okay? If you are really a part of the light, if you are really, a chosen one, you feel it. You just kind of second guess. Something that happened to someone recently, and of course, this, not really my business to talk about, but we're going to talk about it because, of course, it comes up here. But someone I know got hacked. Someone I know, they're very articulate, they're very tech savvy. They were in a situation where I guess the energy was desperate, and the enemy came in and fucked them right on up. And I'm just like, baby, we got to be mindful of energy. The energy does not lie. Do not let people, places, and things manipulate you. Go within and say, can I see what this is? I tell you, I never give people immediate answer. People tell me, hey, can you blah, blah, blah? I'll be like, give me a couple of days. And I let spirit direct me. Whatever comes up, we speak about it. And baby, it is what it is. Okay, so that's that with that, y'all. Also, very lightly, and I'm gonna go, y'all. It was 12:19. Good, girl. We still got time. Ow! Okay. So, very lightly, you guys. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone, honey. Leave her alone. Eh, eh. Did I say leave her alone? Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Nasty stuff. Leave my daughter alone. Anyway, y'all, something happened, and you know what? I think I'm gonna come back tomorrow and tackle that, because I feel like that energy is gonna be a lot to go into, because there's a lot of energy that come up for it. I'm gonna talk about it very lightly. Allegedly, there was 9 people, originally 10 people, that escaped out of the one of the jails down there in New Orleans. And basically, what ended up happening was it was 10, but they caught one almost immediately. And then, of course, I think now they caught 3 of them in total. And so it is now going down to 6 are still out there. And of course, made people panic, et cetera, et cetera. Now, y'all, I was looking at this footage of them talking about this. And I'm still trying to logically, spiritually, spirit is already showing me what it is and how it is. And so, like I said, that's why I'm going to talk about it just a little lightly. We're not going to go too deep into it, because I want to actually, reacquaint myself with the situation, because I saw like a 7-minute clip. And so basically, allegedly, these people got out. They broke out of prison. It's a new prison. They exit out of one door, which was like a loading dock where they get shipment and stuff at. And literally, y'all, after that, I don't know exactly how it went. Did they disconnect the toilet to squeeze through these bars to get into the docking station? That's how they got out. Because the way that it was presented is that they got out of the docking thing, and then they escaped out of these bars, which was the toilet. And it appeared that somebody cut the toilet, and they said this is an outside situation. This is something like this, the outside help. And y'all, this is just what comes to me right now, right? Like, even like tapping in right now. I'm trying to not convince, but be logical with this. How did these people, because these people, they were not like little short, like twink, skinny anorexic people get on that. Some of them were skinny, but they wasn't tiny like that, y'all. These bars look to be like maybe like 5 inches in between these bars. I would say maybe 5 to 6 inches, right? And so I'm like, how did they fit through that, right? And then going into the outside thing, like it doesn't make sense. What I'm feeling energetically is that that cutting thing was to give a lullaby, like they broke that out and they got out that way. But of course, it was already predetermined, it was already cut, and it was done over a series of like a time period. And then even going into the help of this, there's something with a female and a male, and I keep getting like a B name, like and it's like Brian, and I'm saying it like that, y'all, because I kind of got um how would I say this? Spirit kind of taught me something recently, and of course I'm learning to like cipher through when things come in and to really focus on what it is and you know whatever, however, because the what I'm seeing, Brianti is something like that. But like I said, it's a woman and a man. Okay. One of them I feel like is something with like a correctional or something with like they're actually like a parole correctional. The other person I feel like they're like a helper. Like there's somebody who is there, but they're not like, yeah, they're a helper. But either way, y'all, going into this, and even right now, there's so much shit coming up too. I'm seeing a fat, bald-headed. He looked white, but Spirit is saying yeah. This man looks white. He's overweight, bald-headed. Have a like his eye area look like a. Oh my God, he looks like an albino, like Planet of the Apes albino mixed with like some type of gargoyle look, honey. Intertwined with this, intermingled with this. But anyway, y'all, I had a spiritual situation, and I'm gonna be done because my brain is shut down, y'all. It's late. I need to take my ass to bed. I'm sitting here. First of all, two things happen. So I am having, I'm talking to these people that I know. They have a business. They sell natural stuff to help you like lose weight and stuff. And I go here and I get a special tea or drink from them all the time. And I'm telling one of the persons who is a member of the LGBT, not that that matters, but I'm telling him because I feel more open to talk to him, right? And I'm telling him that, did you fight with somebody? Because I had like not a dream, but I had a situation where you were like yelling at this girl with long curly hair, and she was like tall, and her hair was like, it was like a Pentecostal Christian hair, y'all. Like it was long and curly, and mama could be like Portuguese or something. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I let it go. And I'm like, well, okay, well. And he's like, well, if it does happen, I'll let you know. Maybe you're seeing something down the line. I'm like, I don't know. So y'all, so that happens, and coming to find out, he is friends with a girl that looked the way I look, that I described, but she got into it with another friend. They have a mutual friend, and she got into it with her. And I'm like, that is so weird that I would have this dream of her and you fighting. And he's like, nah, I don't know what that was. So I'm just like, okay, like, why would it come through like that, Spirit? Whatever, let it go. The next thing was, girl, identity theft, right? I told him he needs to guard his credit cards, bank statements and stuff because someone that he knows is going to, hack him, y'all. And of course, he's like, I don't know who this could be. And I'm like, well, I'm going to leave that there. I think it was like 3 or 4 months later, y'all, this guy told me that some Black girl from Atlanta was on his Facebook, and she ended up using, and of course, this was all through investigation. So somebody was using his credit cards. He checked in at a hotel, but seriously, somebody was using his credit card. And he's trying to figure out how did they use a lot of the purchases were coming up in Atlanta, just so he had the card on him. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So he ended up doing his research with the help of law enforcement. And he found out that there was a Black girl on his Facebook that somehow, some way got his shit. And I'm just like, how is, like, wait a minute. So I'm like, so it's not somebody you know personally. It's somebody who knew of you. It's somebody that you know as well. And he's like, well, I don't know her. I know she's on my Facebook though. But I'm like, but that's just so weird how she would get your shit done. That just doesn't make sense. And maybe I'll even have y'all on one day where I'm going to ask him. And even like Lachey, she could be there to kind of witness as well. Or I'm going to ask him, like, how did this girl get your information again? Like, it just is not making sense to me. But that's what happened, y'all, 4 months. And I told him, I said, remember I told you? And he said, yeah, bam, bingo. But y'all, what blew my mind is that the other person who works in his business is the sister. I had a dream that she was pregnant, and this pregnancy was going by like quickly. Like I'm in this dream and the stomach is like growing, or it went from no stomach to like expanding, y'all. And it was a boy. And of course, I'm asking, I asked her one day, right? This is like 3 or 4 months later. And I asked her, you know, are you pregnant? And she's like, or I said, I had a dream that you were pregnant with a boy. And she said, oh, you didn't know I'm pregnant? And so y'all had chills because I'm like, what? Like, okay, wow. Because, you know, bitch, even though I know I'm gifted, I know my gifts, it just amazes me still that spirit be head on with shit, y'all. And so I'm like, okay, but they didn't confirm what gender was. And they would always say, my baby, my baby, my baby. Maybe she didn't want to reveal it to people. I don't know. But y'all, she ended up having a girl. And I'm just like, but why did I have a dream of it being a boy? And coming to find out is that the baby father is the only son. So he wanted a son to keep the name going, right? Because of course, on the bloodline, you know, he dies, baby. His sisters ain't going to carry the name on. His son would have carried the name on. And what ended up happening was, that's what it was. He wanted a son. And so literally the whole time, and I'm like, oh my God, was it possible? And of course, y'all, this is just me thinking, is it possible that I was tapping into that they wanted this to be a son? I was tapping into the prayers because, you know, they were praying to Lady of Guadalupe and stuff. And so I was like tapping into that. And y'all, that just blew my mind because I'm like, it was a boy. Like I saw the whole pregnancy. I saw her giving birth and it was a boy. He had a big head and he was a big, big baby. And y'all, it blew my mind that it was the girl. And I was like, well, I mean, Spirit got that she was pregnant. But then later, like I said, the baby is like, what, maybe like 3 or 4 months now. And we were just talking a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I wonder why I thought, you know, why it came to me that this was a boy. And she explained it to me. And I'm like, damn, so it's possible that I was picking up on his prayers, like his desires. You know what I mean? Like a spirit is going to show me, like spirit, show me if it's a boy or girl. Okay, don't play with me. And I'm sitting here looking a fool. And she's like, well, you got the pregnancy, right? Because nobody knew about the pregnancy. I waited until, which was true, she waited until 5 months to tell people. But I'm like, baby, like, spirit, tell me what it is. Okay. Anyway, let me see what these comments are saying before I go, y'all. Come on, Debbie. How you doing, Debbie? Yes, honey. Not Turtle Island. Turtle Island. I like term Afro-Americans. It sounds so outdated and racist. Right. Sometimes you gotta let people have it to shake things up. You said it. I hate shortcuts. Me too. And those life hack videos all over YouTube, all over TikTok too. Come on, Debbie. All over. Most of the time, personal attacks are often done by people in your circle, people you know about. You said it. You said it, Debbie. Personal heart attacks. Okay, you retyped it. I mix feelings about Facebook. Let me tell you this right now, and I'm going to reiterate this. I'm going to reiterate this. 3 things you don't ever do. When you're getting work done on somebody else, unless it's to fuck this person up and you really trust this worker, do not give these people's full name. 2, do not ever send a spiritualist any personal items of yourself. Like I said, unless you trust the spiritualist and you know what their real intentions are, do not send them any personal items. 3, if you are going to join a Facebook page, join a Facebook page that has no real family and friends on that page. And join the group with that page. Because a lot of them, I'm going to tell y'all this right now, a lot of them, that's how they get your tea. That's how they get your fucking tea. And I'm just like, girl, Like, yeah, girl, I'm not listening. No, ma'am. If I'm joining your business page, I'm going to make a business page to join your business page. Like, girl, you're not going to see my mama, my sister, my uncle, my brother, my niece, my nephews. You're not seeing that. That's a personal side of me. You are a client. You are a business. You are a business connection. You don't get personal access like that, babe. Because now I have to block you on my personal and my business shit. No, ma'am. And that's where it's at for me. So be very mindful about these people, y'all, because these people, they definitely are out on a hunt. They definitely figure out ways how to get the kids, girl. And when they can't get you, girl, they want to fight you. Now you're blocked because they can't get you. You're blocked. You can keep your money because now they don't want it. Okay? I told you to put your first name and last name and you didn't do it. It's not that serious, babe. If you're that scared of connecting with people, maybe you need to just walk away from this business. If you're tapped into spirits and energies, the spirit and energies can also protect you from people's spirits and energies. So, baby, you should be scared of me before I'm scared of you. Anyway, that's it. That's my thought on that. Anyway, y'all, love and light to spiritmister.blogspot.com. And I'll be back again soon, y'all, okay? And like I said, you guys will be seeing what I just said once a week. Energy charge up, okay? But for now, y'all, love and light to spiritmister.blogspot.com. Bye!